Good morning, everyone. Now we are continuing our session of genital tuberculosis. We had already seen tubercular sarcomatitis, tubercular endometritis, cervical tuberculosis, ovarian tuberculosis, tuberculosis of vulva and vagina, and tuberculosis of pelvic peritoneum. Now, clinical features. We have to see what are the clinical features, how the patient will present. The patient of genital tuberculosis, how she will present. So, the first of all, we have to see this patient profile is very important. So patient profile generally the patient comes with infertility. So 80% of cases are between 20 to 35 years almost. Means almost many cases are in reproductive life. There will be history of tuberculosis, previous history of tuberculosis, means primary tuberculosis site is lump or lymph nodes like be there. So patient will have patient whenever the patient will come with genital tuberculosis or with the infertility, she will have previous history of tuberculosis, lung tuberculosis, or tuberculosis of lymph nodes, will be lymph glands may be affected, or either she will have family history of tuberculosis, or somewhere she will be having some history that is related to tuberculosis in the family, in either herself or in previously she might be got affected by the condition. This is the patient profile. Socioeconomical condition is very important. Nutritional status of the patient is very important, and all these things should be looked for. The symptoms, first of all, the commonest presentation of this tuberculosis is infertility. So, 80% of cases of pelvic tuberculosis will present with infertility, either primary, either secondary infertility. But the patient will have infertility. So, in India, genital tuberculosis is very common, and already we have seen 10% of the cases of infertility are because of the genital tuberculosis, and the commonest cause, the site of affection is fallopian tubes. So, blockage, tubal blockage is the commonest cause for the infertility. So adhesion in endometrial cavity might be there, like Asherman syndrome we had seen in endometrial tuberculosis. Because of the Seneca formation in the endometrial cavity, there will be infertility, there will be amenorrhea or repeated abortion patient will have, and the patient will suffer from the suffer from the infertility because of the adhesion formation. And again, if at all ovaries are affected, tuber and mass is there, so ovarian dysfunction will be there, and if at all ovarian dysfunction will be there, she will suffer from the infertility. Menstrual abnormality, 50% of cases will be with normal menstruation, but menstrual abnormality will be the 50% of patient will present with the menstrual abnormality. So commonest one is amenorrhea or oligomenorrhea. Whenever the secondary amenorrhea, generally the cause is Asherman syndrome. As we had seen, adhesion formation will be there, and because of that adhesions are because of the toxin will cause ulceration, endometrial ulceration, and whenever that ulceration get healed with fibrosis, the endometrial cavity will get attached to each other, the layers will get attached to each other, and that will cause Seneca formation. And again, oophoretis will be there, ovaries will be affected, and ovarian dysfunction will be there, and that will also cause menstrual abnormality, that is amenorrhea. Menorrhagia will be there, and probably whenever the initial ovarian involvement is there, and pelvic congestion is there, and then in the early stage, in the initial stage, there will be excessive bleeding might be there, and menorrhagia might be patient will present with. So in initial phase, menorrhagia will be there, and in late stage, amenorrhea will be there, oligomenorrhea will be there. The next one is chronic pelvic pain. So pelvic pain is the important pelvic pain. In chronic pelvic pain, so many patients will suffer from the this chronic pelvic pain because of the infection, and so many complications the condition is having. And whenever the tubo-ovarian mass is present, then the patient will whenever the ovarian ovaries are affected, fallopian tubes are affected, whenever the infection is there in genital tract, patient will have backache. Again, vaginal discharge, there will be whenever there will be cervical tuberculosis or vaginal tuberculosis, and generally it is associated with bleeding after coitus or after vaginal examination. Bloodstain discharge might be there in the cervical tuberculosis or vaginal tuberculosis. Constitutional symptoms like fever, malaise, anemia, loss of appetite, loss of weight, weakness will be there, and these are all the symptoms of tuberculosis. The constitutional symptoms of tuberculosis are patient will present with. Signs: health status of the patient is very important. Generally, health status should be assessed. Weakness should be looked for. Continuous fever, anorexia, anemia, night sweats has to be looked for. And these are the whenever these symptoms are continuously present, they will show the active lesion. This is the sign. Whenever these constitutional symptoms are present continuously, then it indicates active infection is present in the body of the patient. Per abdominal examination, tubercular ascites has to be assessed. As we all know how to assess the ascites. Dougie filling will be there whenever the tubo-ovarian mass will be there, fibrosis will be there, and whenever the omentum and intestine will be get attached with these fallopian tubes or of tubercular area that is affecting genital tract. Whenever it get adhesion formation with this intestine or omentum, then the Dougie filling will be there. Per vaginal examination, generally per vaginal examination, whenever the vulval or vaginal will be there, tuberculosis is there, then the ulceration formation we can see. In the cervical and vaginal tuberculosis, there will be bleeding. Per vaginal examination we can see. Again, whenever the nodules are there, then we can feel the nodules from the lateral cornices. Again, in these investigations we can see we have to look for the primary lesion wherever present. So investigation should be directed at the primary lesion like lungs, bones, and lymph nodes. Again, to confirm the whether the cases of genital tuberculosis is very important. So blood test here, total blood count is important, HB percent is important, ESI is raised and has to be done. Again, Montague's test, whenever there is a positive Montague's test with it will suggest the patient may have, this is a screening test, and the patient may have tuberculosis. Chest x-ray for any primary site in the lung has to be done. Again, diagnostic uterine curettage is done before menstruation. Just before a week before menstruation, DNC has to be done so that the tubercles that are present in the endometrium that will be taken for the study for the findings, and it has to be studied so that whether the infection is present, tuberculosis is there or not, it has to be diagnosed. So generally, nucleic acid amplification test is done for the confirmation, and with PCR test, polymerase chain reaction, that is confirmatory for Mycobacterium tuberculosis. From the endometrial blood or menstrual blood, the sample is taken. Again, sputum and urine examination. Sputum and urine examination, generally this is done for the tubercular bacilli. Lymph node biopsy has to be done, especially whenever the neck lymph nodes has to be supraclavicular lymph node, right side supraclavicular lymph node has to be examined. Again, in imaging, hysterosalpingography is generally done for the confirmation of diagnosis. Laparoscopy, whenever any generally whenever any absence of endometrial evidence is there, then laparoscopy is done for the identification of the tubercles that is present in the pelvic area. So this is about the diagnosis. Hysterosalpingography, in this vascular and lymphatic extravasation of the dye is done, and whenever the tube is filled with the dye, and then the cavity is filled with the dye, then the rigid tubes with nodules at the places we can see tobacco pouch appearance with blocked femoral ends can be seen. Again, distal tube obstruction will be seen in HSG coiling of the tubes and calcified shadows are seen. Uterine cavity will be irregular and honeycomb appearance in endometrial tuberculosis, and presence of uterine synechiae whenever the Asherman syndrome is present. Again, bilateral corneal block can be diagnosed, and the tubal outline will be irregular, we can see in HSG. So differential diagnosis of pyogenic tuberous mass made with their infection. Some other infection may cause the pyogenic tuberous mass. Pelvic endometriosis, again adherent ovarian cyst and ectopic pregnancy, chronic disturbed ectopic pregnancy are the disturbed. We have to diagnose clinically also, and by investigation we have to confirm the diagnosis. So treatment part, in treatment part generally, general treatment, in general treatment patient has to be whenever the cases of acute pulmonary tuberculosis, the patient has to be diagnosed, hospitalization has to be made, bed rest is given, and the proper treatment, anti-tubercular drugs are generally given. Proper diet, correction of anemia, and rest is very important to avoid to flourish the infection and possibility to go the infection to the genital tract. Chemotherapy in initial phase, generally anti-tubercular therapy is very important. The drug used are isoniazid, rifampicin, pyrazinamide, and ethambutol. These are the drugs generally used for the treatment of the tuberculosis. In surgical part, whenever the generally tubercular salpingitis is common, and whenever the tube has been burst, whenever pyosulfin will be there, it may uh, it may get outburst, it may outburst, and the surgical treatment is required. So removal of the fallopian tube is very important. Uh, these are the drugs. In this chart we can see the drugs commonly used. This is isoniazid, rifampicin, pyrazinamide, and ethambutol with the doses and the toxicity. It may cause like hepatitis, peripheral neuropathy, hepatic dysfunction, hepatitis, visual disturbances, GI upset, arthralgia, febrile condition, discoloration of urine. You can see with these medications. So surgery, total hysterectomy might be required, and the oophorectomy might be required. Whenever tubercular pyosulfin is there, then the tube, complete removal of the tube might be there. This is about the genital tuberculosis. If at all you are having any query, mention in the comment box. I will try to solve it. Thank you.